Friends, in this video we will discuss 20 MCQs and their answers based on research aptitude, which will be helpful to the candidates of NET and SET examinations. Friends, questions based on research are asked in paper number 1 in all the subjects of NET and SET, and paper 2 of education and psychology. This is 14th video of this kind, and before this 13 videos have already been uploaded on the YouTube channel SPSS EDU as shown on the screen. Let us start with the question. Question number 1, 261. Question number 261. The variance reflecting a systematic difference between groups of measures is termed as systematic difference between groups of measures is termed as option number 1 total variance, 2 error variance, 3 between groups variance, number 4 within groups variance. Friends, the correct answer is between groups variance, option number 3. Question 262. The difference between a statistical average based on the entire population and the one based on a sample is known as the difference between the mean obtained from population and mean obtained from sample. What it is called? Let us see. Number 1 standard error, number 2 mean difference, number 2 sampling error, number 4 mean deviation. It is called sampling error. Option number 3 is correct. Question 263. The standard deviation of sampling distribution of a statistics is known as sampling variance, standard error, sampling error, standard variance. Friends, standard deviation of sampling distribution is called standard error. Option number 2 is correct. Question 264. In the process of statistical inference, the type 2 error is committed when we accept a true null hypothesis, reject a true null hypothesis, reject a false null hypothesis, 4 accept a false null hypothesis. The correct answer is option number 2, reject a true null hypothesis, that is type 2 error. Question 265. If a researcher conducts a research on finding out which administrative style contributes more to institutional effectiveness, this will be an example of basic research, action research, applied research, fundamental research. Friends, it is applied research. It is comparing administrative style. Question number 266. Which of the following terms best indicates the intent of a qualitative research study? The intent of qualitative research study. Explanation, prediction, exploration, estimation. Friends, the correct answer is explanation. Intent of a qualitative research. Question 267. A variable which potentially influences the outcomes of the research study but cannot be directly observed and controlled is known as cannot be observed or controlled but can affect the outcomes of the research. Option number 1 attribute variable, number 2 confounding variable, number 3 moderator variable, number 4 concomitant variable. Friends, the correct answer is confounding variable. It is also called intervening variable. Option number 2 is correct. Question 268. Which of the following gives a more accurate measure of relationship than the other 3? More accurate measure of relationship. Spearman's rho, biserial correlation, Kendall's tau, and fourth product moment method. Friends, Spearman's rho is based on ranks, Biserial is based on interval and nominal scale. Third, Kendall-Stowe is based on ranks, and product moment method uses the original data. So product moment method gives a more accurate measure of relationship. Option number 4 is correct. Question 269. Which of the following options are the main tasks of research in modern society? Main task of research. Number 1, to keep pace with the advancement in knowledge, to discover new things, to write a critique on the earlier writings, to systematically examine and critically analyze the investigation sources with objectivity. 4 statements are given and options are given in this way. The correct statements are: to keep pace with the advancement in knowledge, number 1; to discover new things, number 2; and to systematically examine and critically analyze the investigation's sources with objectivity. Number 3. Option number 1 is correct. Question 270. Which of the following techniques is not covered under non-probability sampling? Not covered under non-probability sampling. Number 1, stratified random sampling, purposive sampling, incidental sampling, fourth quarter sampling. Only number 1 is not non-probability sampling, it is probability sampling, so option number 1 is correct. Question 271. Which one of the following tests can be used to examine the differences in mathematics achievement of boys and girls? Which tests can be used to examine the differences in mathematics achievement of boys and girls? Correlation test, t-test, chi-square test, two-way ANOVA. Friends, here t-test can be used, must be used. Out of the options given here, only t-test is suitable, so option number 2 is correct, t-test. Question 272. There is a significant positive correlation between variables x and y. This means that positive correlation between x and y. It means x causes variation in y causes variation in x and y vary together in opposite direction, x and y vary together in the same direction. Friends, the correct answer, most suitable answer is option number 4, x and y vary together in the same direction. Question 273. Researcher intends to ascertain the attitude of adolescents towards modernization. Which one of the following tools is an appropriate one? Attitude towards modernization of adolescents. Projective technique, interview, Likert scale, sociometry. Friends, attitude, Likert scale. Option number 3 is correct. Out of the options given. 274. Which of the following is incorrect as a measure of dispersion? Quartile deviation, dispersion, range dispersion, standard deviation dispersion. Sampling error is not a measure of dispersion. So option number 4 is correct. Question 275. A researcher prepared a report based on the interviews of 25 people. Under which category this research can be placed? Interviews are taken of 25 people. So options are quantitative, qualitative, historical, scientific. Friends, interviews are taken, so it is qualitative research. Option number 2 is correct. Question 276. Introspection method lacks in reliability, validity, objectivity, all the above three. Friends, option number 1, 2, 3 cannot be maintained in introspection. So option number 4 is correct, all the above three. Introspection method lacks in all of these 1, 2 and 3. Question 277. Which one of the following is the stable measure of dispersion? Stable measure of dispersion. Range, quartile deviation, average deviation, standard deviation. The stable measure of dispersion is standard deviation. Option number 4 is correct. Question 278. The method of drawing conclusions based on the observation of each and every instance of a population is called. Observation of each and every instance of a population. Scientific method, deductive method, inductive method, dialectic method. The correct answer is inductive method. Question 279. Positivistic research approach was advocated by Francis Bacon, Stanley and Campbell, Auguste Comte and Babbitt. The correct answer is Auguste Comte. Option number 3. Question 280. A class teacher administered thematic appreciation test, that is called TAT, to a group of students to assess their thematic appreciation test. Option achievement, number 2 awareness, number 3 personality, number 4 attitude. Friends, TAT is used for personality measurement, so option number 3 is correct. Friends, in this way we have seen 20 MCQs based on research aptitude in this video. In next video more 20 MCQs will be discussed. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.